Morning.
Morning.
Hello dear. It is Wednesday, November 28th. Good morning. Diana's outside. She's having the right crack with us here this morning.
Dirty Diana.
Dirty Diana. Yeah, it's very windy, it's very wet, and it's wild out there. I think the orange weather warning that's in place from Mid-Éireann lasts till around midday. They'll update us on that at some point this morning. But yeah, they said about 6 o'clock this morning, and I think they were spot on. She arrived maybe a little bit early. So Storm Diana's outside, so it's very wet, very windy. So if you're driving or you're out and about today, just take it handy, all right? And it's going to be like that more or less for the day, actually. The rain is down for the day, I think. So.
Yeah, so it's a status orange warning?
Status orange, yeah. So it's
cool.
Status orange till around midday, and then I'm sure we get an update at some point on the radio show this morning. But yeah, it's a wet one and a wild one. And it's wet and wild and windy.
All right.
Diana.
Morning! Right, today's papers, we're going to check them out in full on the show at about 7:10. We do that, we do it again in the next hour as well. Front page of the Irish Daily Mail has got this absolutely mental story. It's all about Ballybrack Football Club. Have you been reading about this?
Oh yeah, it's in all the papers, yeah.
They pretended one of their players was dead so that a match could be called off. Have I got that right? Because I actually read 3 articles about it last night and I was like, am I not understanding this? And he was off. He was in Spain.
Yeah, he'd gone back to Spain, yeah.
So now he's saying, alive and kicking is the headline in the Mail. He said, I had to ring my wife and tell her I was alive.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's pictured on the front page of the Mail today. There's Fiona Looney talking about homeschooling, which was in the papers yesterday, and homeschooling has become really popular apparently. She says homeschooling, not a chance. Kids needs the good and the bad all days, says Fiona Looney. And when did elderly patients on trolleys become the norm, asks the Daily Mail this morning. 11,000 elderly patients were on trolleys for longer than 24 hours in A&E so far this year. So that's a pretty shocking stat there on the Irish Daily Mail's front page. Irish Examiner today, Ireland may not be ready for Brexit, is a headline there. Coveney's cabinet memo warns of infrastructure risks and costs once Brexit finally goes through. That's the front page of the Irish Examiner today. Also a story about nurses campaign to opt out of abortion provision. A group of nurses and midwives, they've joined GPs in declaring that they don't want to participate in providing abortion services from January. The Irish Independent, broadband rollout to be fast-tracked in a new plan. I'd love to see now what their version of fast-tracking is. 4 years instead of 10.
They're saying now that 5G will become more of a possibility, more likely than any broadband in rural areas.
I'd say there are people in rural areas just saying, just give us the bloody internet.
Yeah.
Just give us broadband.
Yeah.
Gales before the storm. Diana to hit with winds of 130 kilometres per hour, says the Irish Independent. And more on Ballybrack Football Club as well in the Irish Mirror today. Ballybrack FC apologises for grave and unacceptable mistake. Bad word. After faking death of player to cancel match is a headline in the Mirror today.
Yeah, that's all. They're also trending this morning, Ballybrack. Along with Man United, they beat Young Boys last night to go into the knockout stages of the Champions League. They won 1-0. On post, Irish Book Awards were on last night as well. So it's things like Cora Staunton from Mayo, she won Sports Book of the Year, which apparently is very good.
It must be a good book. I'm hearing a lot about it. Yeah, okay.
And the popular fiction went to that one, The Importance of Being Aisling, which Una has read the first one, I think, and said it's excellent. It's very funny.
Really? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Storm Diana then is obviously trending in Ireland this morning as well, so it hit around 6 o'clock, as we said, and should last around midday. At least the orange weather warning will last till midday anyway. That's one of the top trends. And in some of the papers this morning, and you'll see the photographs below this video as well, there's the story of the world's biggest cow.
Now, you posted this on our Facebook page last night. I was in bed when I saw it, and I just looked at it, I was like, pure Andrew. This is your kind of story.
Well, it's all
You're
over.
loving it.
It's in the Mirror today. It's in the Sun today, and it's in the Daily Mail today. Pictures of this cow. It's bigger than a Volkswagen Golf. It's
I know
so
its
big.
name, by the way.
What was the actual? I hadn't written
Knickers.
it down. Knickers. That was it. Yeah, Knickers weighs.
I read it there. I read this story really early this morning. I thought it was called Kickers.
Kickers. Yeah, as did I actually.
Name. Yeah, it's Knickers. The cow.
Knickers weighs 220 stone and is too big to be slaughtered. So Knickers is going to live out the rest of his days. Is it him or her? Anyway, they're going to live out the rest of their days, for the rest of their days, and they'll be grand out. But have a look at the pictures below this video in a minute, because it is huge. When I first saw it, I thought, that's a brilliant bit of piece of Photoshop there.
Yeah, I
it's
thought
not.
that too.
It's actually real. So have a look at it, and as I said, they've compared it to the size of a VW Golf. It's bigger than that.
He's 220 stone.
Yeah. 1,400 kilos.
Two of us.
Yeah.
Give or take.
So that's trending. That's in the papers this morning. Jiggly is apparently the funniest word in the English language.
Jiggly.
Jiggly.
Oh, in relation to boobs, is it? What?
No,
Why is
just
it funny? Jiggly boob. What?
Why, see, you had to go there with boobs. I was just saying the word jiggly.
When would you ever use the word jiggly?
When jelly jiggles.
Oh yeah, I'd never say, oh, the jelly is so jiggly.
Uh,
I just never would use it.
Wriggly, jiggly, giggle, puffball, boff, bubby, and upchuck are the funniest
I
words.
don't know what half of them mean.
Me neither.
Go back again. What's puffball?
No idea. We'll have to do the old Googles.
What's yaps?
So there you go. Don't know.
I'd say yaps for talking, like, oh, she yaps away, that one.
Yeah, that's an Irish thing though. It's a real Irish thing. Like, I don't know what anybody else. If you said to somebody, "Oh, do you watch your man yapping away there?" They'd be like, "Sorry, he's."
Yeah.
So that's apparently the funniest word in the English language, and it was on this day in 2003, Elf premiered.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, so Elf has been on there about 6 million times since Halloween. I've seen it on a fair bit, and it's going to be on again a lot.
It's great, isn't it? I don't know if my daughter has seen it yet, actually.
Do you know what else I was watching
So,
recently?
something to watch.
Is the Santa Claus. All three of them are on different channels
Oh,
lately
yeah,
with
okay.
Tim Allen. Yeah, so that's been on a bit. And I was watching, well, I wasn't watching, I saw it was on Sunday. It was Miracle on 34th Street. So all the classics are being rolled out now.
Lovely.
Yeah.
The original or the remake?
Both on Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Both nice.
So they're all being rolled out now at this point. On the show this morning, we will come back to what we spoke about yesterday when we mentioned that pregnant is a word that the Queen doesn't like. She doesn't like that term. So we're going to come back to some of those in the show this morning. But just on Christmas movies, have you actually sat down to watch a Christmas film yet, or has your daughter sat down to watch?
Yeah, we watched over the weekend some awful muck on Netflix. It was desperate.
It's not that new one, is it? They're really pushing it. I think, is it called The Christmas Chronicle?
No, it wasn't new, and it was Canadian kind of.
Right,
cheapy
okay.
thing.
It's just they're really pushing this Christmas Chronicle thing, which tells me they must have spent an absolute arm and a leg and a fortune on it to make it. But when you go onto Netflix now, I don't know about you because I know we all have different tastes and things.
Yeah.
But it's like the first thing that pops up.
No,
on my feed.
I'm seeing a Christmas movie popping up, so
Yeah,
that
yeah.
must be it.
Yeah.
Really sad news yesterday as well that the SpongeBob SquarePants creator Stephen Hillenburg has passed away at the age of just 57. He had motor neuron disease. I didn't know that. I hadn't heard that at all. But he's responsible for creating possibly my favourite cartoon character of all time, I would say.
Really, yeah?
Yeah.
I missed the boat on SpongeBob, right? My brother was into him, but he was just after my Nickelodeon phase.
I was obsessed with SpongeBob SquarePants when I started here in Radio Kerry. Obsessed. I watched it. I could watch 8 episodes when I went home from here. I loved it. My dad loved it. My brothers loved it. Some of my friends, we used to just sit down and watch SpongeBob for ages. And I remember was it the Christmas I started here? I got SpongeBob SquarePants Christmas presents and stuff. I was really obsessed. Yeah.
Back when
did you work with Trays?
No.
Trays Madden? No. Trays worked in our newsroom, so before you. And Trays was also obsessed with SpongeBob. So we used to have our little SpongeBob obsession together. I still love it.
Little meetings.
I have a little tiny SpongeBob story I'll tell you on air today.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Come here, you've come up with this stat today. A quarter of people have done something. And I find it very hard to believe.
I would have thought the same, except when you think about... Will I just tell you what it is?
Yeah.
So a quarter of people have appeared on television.
Yeah.
And I can tell you how it's possible.
Matches. Okay.
How many times have you sat down to watch TG Cahar and while your man... Just step out there, just take a step forward. And all you see behind the person reporting is...
Yeah.
Everyone.
God, if I'm reporting on a match here, I have a very shiny forehead. Make up!
Sorry, I just pushed
you just pushed me into the spotlight. I actually, just before we started, I said, "There's a spot up here, Andrew, where my forehead becomes extremely shiny."
And it's the one place.
And he pushed me into it.
Just stand forward there again. So apparently, I have to admit, I was with Elaine a little bit. A quarter of us have appeared on television.
Let's gauge our listeners.
Yeah.
How many of you have appeared on?
Have you appeared on TV?
How many of you have appeared on TV?
This is coming from TV's Elaine Kinsella. So, we better rock on because we're about to go live. But look, if you've appeared in TV in any way, shape or form, even if it's just in the background walking by, let us know this morning. 083 300 3300. Our comment here as well, of course.
And someone's just said, any update? Hi, Irene. Any update on roads? We'll give you full updates as soon as we get them. We haven't even gone to studio yet, so we don't have anything yet, Irene. But as soon as we get them, we'll announce it all.
Wet and windy. Good luck.
Yeah, wet.